To do a score now, what I'd like is if you knock out something like this flower or this worm to move on, that you get some points for it. Okay. To do that, it's going to be a global variable, which the first part of this I know works well because I've done it, but as far as the second part, I'm not sure yet. So bear with me. Um, but we have to do what's called a global variable, one that carries on throughout and is constant on every screen, every ticker, all that stuff. Because you know that when we did this instance variable here, like the health meter, there is just instance variables on this object. So anything that happens is only on this object on this layout. So once that is destroyed, this instance variable goes away. So the global variable is something that we use so it doesn't go away. No matter if mush is killed or whatever it is that we want, we need that global variable, right? So to do that, you're going to go into your sheets. And you want to right click down here where there's not much going on. And then you can see it says add global variable. So I'm going to go ahead and add a global variable. I'm going to call it, I'm going to do lowercase score. Lowercase score. I want an initial value of 0 because I want to add to it, right? And everything else is just default. You don't need to worry much about. So I'm just going to say OK. So there it is at the top now. It says global number score equals 0. Okay? All fine there. Now we need to go ahead and add to it, right? So that's something that we have to do. And that's nothing more than figuring out when. And I want to do it when the bomb explodes here. So I just set that up. We know it's a variable that I want to go with. So that's going to be under system. And here it is. Right away, it says global and local variables, and I want to add 2. And because it's the only global variable I have and or variable on this layout at all, I believe, yeah, it's there by default. And I'm going to say 10. Okay, I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to do the same thing, copy, and do the same thing when they do the worm here. There. Okay. So, boom, add 10. So now I got 2 things happening. When I preview this, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. Come on. That was super loud. But you can see that I probably updated that variable, but where is it? I don't see it. I'm not sure what's happening. So to do that, what we need to do is just very similar to that of Storyline, is the text box. Right? So we know it's a text that we want to display, so let's go ahead and put a text box in there. Right here, text. And I'm going to put that, I'm just going to put that right up in the top left, and I'm not going to worry much about it right now. I might make it a little bit bigger, actually. Is bold. There. So, nothing crazy. But I don't have to do anything. Like right now, as if you were doing this in Storyline, we would do the percent, name of the variable percent. Well, you don't do that here. I'm going to go up here and say score text. That's, again, this is just me naming it because I want to remember what I referenced it. So score underscore text. And then it's nothing more than coming back to my event sheet. And I want to do an every tick. So I know that, and again, you've gotten to the habit now. If you know you want to do a certain thing, be it every tick or on a certain space, look to see if you've already had it, which I do. I have an every tick here. And then all you have to do is add the action of that text box. So there it is, score underscore text. And what I want to do is set the text. So here, set text. And I want to do it here in this variable sense, right? Same way we kind of set the animation earlier, okay? So between the quotes is going to be what is going to be static. So what is going to be there constant. So I'm going to just say score, and that's it. Okay? That is, and I could say like current score, whatever. That has no variable relation. That is just what's going to be on screen all the time. So anything that's in the quotes is static and will not change. But to get kind of that dynamic, meaning the variable, it's nothing more than the ampersand and then the name of the variable, which in this case is score, right? And then you can see down here it popped up with that little globe next to it. So I'm going to say done, and there we go. So just a real quick recap. We first established the global variable. Once we did that, we said when we wanted that global variable to be updated. So I'm scoring 10 when I destroy all those. And then to display it, all I said was let's create a text box, and then in that text box, say score, but then the dynamic part and or the variable should be updated with using that ampersand score. So let's go see if that does it. There's score up there. Exploded. I got my hot 10. Oh no. Gotta get away. And then there we go. So now the idea, as I set this here, is a global variable. And you see it on the level 1 events sheet. So if I go to level 1 now, if I grab this, and let's say I put it on, is this level 2? Yeah. Let's just go to level 2 so it doesn't take long to see. So Control V. So I'm going to put this in the same spot-ish, right? So I'm going to put it, hey. Okay. And it's still, as you can see, it's still called score text. And it says text. Now let's see if we take, which one does it have to be? I imagine it's going to be this one. I'm going to copy this one. And go to level 2 events. Okay, so now it should be okay. I'm going to get rid of bird because there's no bird on there. Now it should be okay. I preview that. Here it is. So it is global. There's nothing that I'm going to be shooting here or getting points for, but it did in fact carry all of that over. I didn't have to reestablish the variable on this sheet. The moment that I made that thing global means it's going to be on all the events that I can call to at any time. So that is scoring.